right, for today, we have 3 objectives. This is Unit 1.1, Looking for Employment, and we are going to compute periodic salary based on annual contract salary, interpret abbreviations in classified ads, and express classified ads, ad prices as piecewise functions. So let's go ahead and look at example 1, and it says here that Julianne found a job listed in the classified ads that pays a yearly salary of $41K. What is the weekly salary? So you'll notice that I'm underlining information in here. What I'm doing is I'm trying to make what is a 4-line word problem a little bit simpler for you. Historically, math students, where they really struggle is those word problems. So if we can identify the important information, then it should help us. So the first question here is, what does the K mean here? And K equals 1,000. So in this case, because there are 41K, there are $41,000 that goes here, and that's what Julianne earns in a year. And it says, what is the weekly salary? So in order to break down a year to a week, we have to know how many weeks are in a year, and there are 52 weeks in a year. So we're going to take that and we're going to divide 52 into the 41,000, and we end up with $788.46 is Julianne's weekly salary. All right, in this unit, you will find, in every other subsequent unit, that there are you-dos, or check for understandings. At this time, I'll ask you to pause the video, solve the question. When you're ready, push play, and we'll finish it out. Okay, let's check it out. Karen found a job with an annual salary of $63.7K. What is her monthly pay, rounded to the nearest dollar? Well, we know that there are 12 months in a year, but here we have 63.7K. Now when you look at 1,000, and remember K equals 1,000, there's 1, 2, 3 zeros. So that's how many times we are going to move the decimal over, is 1, 2, 3 times. So we actually have $63,700. We're going to divide that by 12, because there are 12 months in a year, and we end up with, it asks us to round to the nearest dollar, so we end up with $5,308. Example 2, and let me move it a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Dylan took a job through an employment agency. The job pays $395 per week. Dylan must pay a fee to the employment agency. The fee is 20% of the first 4 weeks' pay. How much must Dylan pay the agency? So the first step that we have to do is find 4 weeks' pay. So to do that, we're going to take the weekly pay, which is $395, and we're going to multiply it by 4. And when we do that, we get $1,580. So now that we have 4 weeks' pay, we need to find 20% of that. Now, whenever we're multiplying a number by a percentage, we need to convert it to a decimal first. So to do that, we move the decimal over 2 times. So we're looking at multiplying then the 1,580 times 0.20. Now what we're actually doing when we convert a percent to a decimal is we're dividing by 100. It's out of 100%. So if you plug into your calculator 20 and divide it by 100, again, you will find you get 0.20. So when we multiply that 0.20 times the 1,580, which was the 4 weeks' pay, we get an answer of $316, and that was the fee that Dylan paid the employment agency. Please press pause, take a moment to solve this. When you're ready, come back and we'll finish it out. Okay, let's take a look. It says the Alpha Employment Agency is advertising a job in the construction industry. The fee is 15% of the first month's pay. If the job pays X dollars annually, express the agency fee algebraically. Well, notice here that the fee is based on 1 month's pay, and it gives us an annual pay. Annually, they earn X dollars. So we need to break that down to month. We know there's 12 months in a year, so it's going to be the annual pay divided by 12. And then, by moving the decimal point over 2, as we just discussed, we multiply that by 0.15. And that's as far as we go here. All right, example number 3. It says here that Ken is a mechanic who owns Ace Auto Repair. He needs a foreign car expert and is placing a 12-line classified ad. The cost of an ad X lines long is given by the following piecewise function. So here we have the function or cost of the ad is $56 when X, or the number of lines, is less than or equal to 4. So it's saying if there's 4, 3, 2, or 1 line, then the cost is $56. So that addresses 1 through 4 lines. The lower function addresses when there is more than 4 lines. So looking here, it's $56 plus $6 per line for every line over 4. And that's here it says when the lines are greater than 4. So basically, anything that is 5 or more lines is going to be, we're going to use the bottom function. Now it says here that we're looking at a 12-line classified ad, so we know we're going to use this bottom function. So I'm going to plug it in up above here. I have $56 plus 6 times, well, X is 12 because it's 12 lines minus 4. So when we take the 12 minus 4, we get 8. And so now we have 56 plus, and we've got 6 times 8, which is 48, which gives us a total of $104 is the cost for this ad. All right, example 4, it says Jane's Printing Services charges $29.50 per 200 high-quality copies of a 1-page resume. Each additional set of 100 costs $14. Express the cost R of X of printing X sets of resumes as a piecewise function. So you might be wondering why I keep circling that set. It's because as we're doing this piecewise function, we've got individual resumes and then we've got sets of resumes, and we need to have it in terms of one or the other. It cannot be both. And so we can't really break this down to an individual because we don't have the value. So we're going to have to bring this up to a set. Well, we know that the set is $100, so let's go ahead, or is 100, not dollars, but 100 resumes. So let's break this down. We know that the cost is $29.50 when X, which is number of sets of resumes, is less than or equal to 2. Not 200, because looking at it, one set equals 100. There's 200, and that I get from here, high quality. Well, if I divide that into 100 in each, there are 2 sets. The second line of the piecewise function, it's $29.50 plus, it says here that it is an additional $14 for every set over the 2. So when x is greater than 2. All right, finally, it says Pete needs 77 copies of his resume. James charges 39 cents per resume quality copy. Should he pay individually for the 77 copies or get 100 copies at the price in example 4? Well, we know in example 4 he actually got 2 sets, which equals 200 resumes, so he actually even gets 100 more, or double what it's talking about here, and it was $29.50 for those 2 sets. If we break it down here and we want 77 copies at 39 cents a piece, if you plug that into your calculator and do 0.39 times 77, you'll find that the cost for these 77 resumes is $30.03. So the question becomes, would I rather have 200 resumes at $29.50 or 77 resumes at $30.03? And obviously I would want the one that I am going to spend the less money. So I'm going to go ahead and get the 100 or 200 resumes at the $29.50. And that ends this lesson.